Yes, that's right. You can feel the excitement in the air for this one. It is another shocking, another phenomenal episode of Cardboard Conversations. Lost in Space Edition.
There has been spoilers for Edge of Eternity, I hear.
Yep. I watched most of that. Gotta say, I was looking forward to it before, and I think it's definitely a departure from Magic the Gathering by and large, but still.
That's what they said. They said it would be. They warned us.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
They also, I saw that they made a new mechanic that's crew with more steps.
Yes. Although it's kind of like permanent.
Yeah, it makes it permanent eventually, which is potentially a downside.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to have vehicles as vehicles so that when somebody board wipes, they don't just die.
Yeah, and there was a change to a new change to Commander, where now artifact creatures that have a power toughness on the front side of the card can be your commander.
I think the rule is straight up any legendary creature with a printed power at the bottom right, or any legendary creature with the power at bottom right, which mainly just covers vehicles. But yeah, it's weird because there's vehicles like, and I guess the new what are they called, stations?
Yes,
I was reading that. I'm like, that is not clear at all what this mechanic is.
It's like you put charge counters on the station in order to make it a real boy, and then once it's a real boy, then it can be a creature.
It. What qualifies it? Like, was it that 7+ number? Like what?
Yeah. So if you have more than 7 charge counters on it, it then becomes a creature. Yep.
Yeah.
Permanently. Then it gets its bonus effect. It's like a half planeswalker. It like has like these counters on it that determine what it can do, and it unlocks. Actually, it's more like
let's track more counters that are different kind of counters.
Like the legend, or not the legend, the level uppers, the people that level up. But instead of paying mana, you tap creatures.
It's the unholy union of planeswalkers and vehicles.
It's strange, but it's it's different.
It's strange, but it sucks.
I haven't seen it in action, so I can't say that for myself yet.
I don't know. The only vehicle I think I've ever played as far as like a commander is concerned, it was Shorkai, and Shorkai is really good, but you don't ever use him as a vehicle. You use him as a draw engine. So it's like him being a vehicle means nothing. It's just actually just kind of a nice thing because it's one of the few planeswalkers or one of the few commanders that aren't just like straight up killed on sight because it's not a creature.
See, for me, one of the positives, and I'm looking back, thankfully for this project we've been doing, I've been exposed to building decks out of more boxes than ever. And recently, when I had done Kaldheim, I'd gotten Asika and Asika's Chariot. Well, realistically, Asika's Chariot would have been far more helpful in a Commander Raids game than playing Asika was.
Yeah, minus the fact that you'd only have one color instead of 5.
Yeah, but then I'd be able to play it.
Yeah, in Commander Raid situation,
it was not helpful whatsoever.
Without the mana fixing, it becomes very difficult.
Take care of time. Have a good one. Enjoy your dinner, sir.
All I can say is that I couldn't get past the dude's appearance. That was the special guy there with the gap in his teeth and looked like he just left his mom's basement.
I haven't watched
the art director guy. Yeah, I honestly thought the same thing. Like, there's something to be said about being alternative. Having a weird bowl cut, bright, colorful hair, or something like that. But honestly, it just looks like he didn't comb his hair.
I at least brushed my hair and my beard before coming down for the podcast.
Yeah, I'm going to be on stage in front of thousands of people, and I'm totally not going to check the mirror before I out there.
Well, and nobody else. That's the thing. Is like there's
nobody mentioned it to him.
Hey, dude, you got a thing. You got a here. Let me get that for you.
Let me get that for you.
What I want to do, $1 billion company, by the way.
There's a production crew behind the whole thing, so it's not just on him. There's other people that screwed up on that.
Did you catch how many times the dude said It
No,
became
I did not.
like I don't look for ticks when people talk. I guess to a little a little history about Bob. I used to speak in front of an audience daily of about 400 to 800 pilots, sometimes twice a day, and you begin to be critiqued quite frequently on your ticks when you're speaking, or any of your habits that might be distracting to the audience. So they catch your ums and your uhs and your different ticks. So you begin to notice that in public speaking when you see others do it. And when they do it excessively, like, you begin to catch those types of ticks. And that guy was so bad. I want to clip it and just play every single or that he said during the whole thing. I swear to God, there's got to be at least 5 minutes worth of just back to back.
It was one of the things that I was critiqued on when I was making a lot of my deck tech videos was a lot of ums and the uhs. They're like, please cut that out. It's like, I'm not going to edit my videos and cut that out. I'll just become better at not doing that.
Right.
And I think I've done
take
that.
the pauses. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's better
anything.
just to kind of stop talking, pause for a second, collect your thoughts, and then continue talking.
You'll see that I do that quite frequently. I've trained myself rather than to say, I stop. I'll have a pause. It might even seem a little intentional for like dramatic effect, but it's more to stop myself from doing the ticks. And it's exactly like you said. You just, when you get to the point where you realize that you have not cohesively put a thought together in your head, which is why you say, is that you're buying time in your pattern of speech to begin to piece it together before it comes out of your face hole. So anyways, I was not impressed that they're doing the Shocklands again.
Well, oh man. I honestly, I thought that was going to be something that would excite you in this set.
Are you kidding? What do they want them to be a $1 card?
No, because they look super cool.
They look cool, yeah. I agree.
I was not impressed with the art. The art felt lazy in this set to me. It felt
I think
very
it looks pretty good.
You aren't shocked?
I think. Well, to be fair, we'll say the Shocklands from what is that set? The unset.
Infinity looked better.
Yeah, those look tremendously better. I will agree with that.
So did the basic lands. Like as soon as they led with basic lands, full art basic lands that weren't even as impressive as the ones from Infinity. And it's like at this point, basic lands are more impressive because they're more rare than the special.
Yeah, just retro frame basics have like a certain appeal to them now. You know, it's like bell bottoms. They're coming back around. I don't need these flarts.
They're definitely no longer special in any fashion.
Not nowadays. No. And you know, it does certainly, at least from the cards I had seen, there is a distinct feeling of leftovers from Infinity. And that's, I think, unfortunately, something that this set is going to have a hard time, for me at least. It's going to be difficult for Edge of Eternities to kind of shake off the dust of Infinity. It has such a distinct feeling and style to it. And some of the legendary creatures that we already saw out of this set kind of have that same sort of art style and look to them. I don't know, but
it's just a non-meme version of it.
What up, Sola?
I was not impressed with the artwork. It felt pretty lazy. I did not like the fact that they're reprinting Shocks. Why can't they just complete cycles that they haven't completed? There are still incomplete cycles out there. Why not complete those first? Honestly, as much as I hate to say it, and you'll probably cringe at me saying this, Pat, the Shocks don't need a reprint in a meaningful way as much as the Triomes do.
Oh no, that's 100% like viable opinion. Honestly, it's a good opinion. I share the same one. But as far as just like the looks of it, I mean, they certainly could have done Triomes, and it would have been a worthwhile reprint. It would have pushed a lot of people towards this set as well. But
hello, Billy. Dilly.
Here's an example of some of these Shocklands that are returning to standard.
Okay.
They don't look terrible, but they don't look great. I'll probably open.
I'm sure they're going to have special versions of them, right?
It didn't say that. It says underneath it says treatments default and traditional foil. So it actually might just be straight up normal lands.
No, I think they'll add to this. I think
there's definitely like other versions.
This version you can get in those products, right? In those things, but they'll be special treatments. There's no way they're not doing special treatments on the Shocks. And how much did you care about Mutavault getting a reprint?
I don't use Mutavault in I think maybe one deck. Very little.
To a degree, Crusader, lands can produce mana, but so can other things. Creatures can, like, to me. I'm sorry. Let me finish Crusader's question. Creatures can produce mana. Mana rocks like artifacts can produce mana. Even sorceries can produce mana. But lands are your typical way of producing mana. Like that looks. First off, I don't give a crap about Mutavault, and they led that. Like, ooh, hey, did you see all three people that cheered and clapped when they announced Mutavault was getting the reprint? It was like, wow, I think they were expecting a much bigger response when they announced Mutavault reprint.
This random rocket thing just looks like a sex toy, but everything else looks fine on the.
That's the Jeff Bezos rocket, man.
Most rockets do look like sex toys, though. It's aerodynamic. It's efficient.
Why don't they have the set symbol on the card?
It's because it's full art. This is the set symbol. It's the rocket.
No, it's like a black hole that looks like a spaceship. And now this is what I was talking about, lazy art.
Oh, man,
that's not an AI piece of generated art. That is AI art generated, period.
It's based on like actual stuff, though. Like, that's
what does that have to do with a Mutavault?
I don't know what a Mutavault is, to be honest. I know it's a vault, but I don't know what is Muta in it. A changing vault.
Right.
It mutates from a land to a creature.
Yeah,
it's a vault that mutes.
That looks like I don't even know what that is. A sci-fi cartoon Johnny Bravo landscape. That, like I said, lazy. Lazy is how I describe this. And when they played this off like this is the desirable thing, get out of here. This card is a beast, though.
It's. When I first started reading it, I thought it was broken. For those in the audience, I'll get a little bigger so you can read it. But the problem is the payoff is kind of. It's not. It's a 3-drop, so it's like pretty powerful for just a 3-drop. But whenever an artifact enters, you get a loyalty counter. That's pretty strong. But then you don't really have a ton to do with it. Like, untapping an artifact is fine, but like there's plenty of artifact untappers.
The ultimate is good.
The ultimate is very boring and basic and doesn't do anything.
What?
3 counters for an emblem is terrible. It's really bad. When you think of an ultimate for a planeswalker, most of them are game changing. This doesn't change anything. You get 3 1/1 counters and it becomes a 3/3. Ooh.
Yeah, but you can pop this off on turn 3.
Who cares? A 3/3 on turn 3 is bad. I don't know. It's not. This isn't a bad planeswalker, but I don't think his emblem is good. I think his emblem is almost unusable. I would almost never want to use this. I'd rather go search in my library for an artifact or untap an artifact. The One Ring, untap the One Ring, draw more cards. Like, if you're playing Shorkai, just go straight into Shorkai because you can untap Shorkai to be able to draw more cards.
I feel it's pretty strong.
I think this card does almost nothing. Well, I'm sorry, the emblem does almost nothing. Now, if you can keep doing emblems every turn, it will add up, but it's unlikely.
What it said, 38 map and food tokens at you for lethal on turn 5.
Pretty much. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
no, you only put one on one artifact a turn. You don't get to put on all of your artifacts. If it said that, then yeah, it'd be insane.
No,
but
you're probably just going to end up getting the emblem a bunch of times.
Time a turn. If you manage to somehow get a way to activate him multiple times a turn and have a way to like get a million counters on them. Yeah, I mean, there are definitely infinite ways to make infinite loyalty on him, but there's not infinite ways to consistently trigger him, like being able to use his ability. You'd have to flicker him a bunch, and yeah, there's going to be infinite ways to do that, but it's going to be like a 15 card combo. I don't know. I just his emblem sucks to me.
Fine.
I don't like it.
Not as cool as that Plains though.
I hate
It's okay.
this.
It also looks AI generated.
Yeah.
It's also reminiscent of like 1920s, 1930s, like travel art.
This island's pretty good.
If anything, I like that one the least.
I honestly, I like the Flart lands from Unfinity way better.
I like this swamp. Swamp's pretty good. Mountain looks
fiery. Yeah,
looks
I'm feeling
okay.
that.
Yeah, it's a mountain. This looks like instead of this being AI generated, this looks like I went to MCG or Make Playing Cards and picked somebody's art that they submitted, so I can use that. Yeah, this looks like a forest. This looks fine.
I'd rather play the Chocobo Forest.
Chocobo.
One thing I noticed that they stopped. So I posted this in our chat. Please note the play boosters no longer contain ad cards or art cards, which is something that every time I've opened them, I'm like, please get rid of these. Nobody gives a crap. And they got rid of them, so that's good. Now they shoved them in collector boosters.
But they shove the art cards in collectors. Like,
I think it's just replacing the token. So that if
I'd rather have the token. I love the tokens in collector boxes.
Yeah,
like that's a net
what
worth.
is this? A booster fun card. What the hell's a booster fun card? I kept seeing this.
Fun is like stuff from bonus
Special
sheets.
stuff.
Yeah, it's the things that they put into it to make
are
it like
great. Solar God, I will admit that. I do. The only problem I have with the oil slick lands is there's only a couple of them that are easy to see the mana symbol. The other three, like the black is tough to see, the blue is tough to see, the white is easy and the red's easy, but the green, the black, and the blue are all kind of tough to see on the oil slick lands.
That was a good sneeze. Man,
Yeah, I ordered I think either 5 or 10 of each of the oil slicked lands because I want more. I want to be able to have a whole deck full of them. They are definitely the best. As I agree. Is there anything in here that they are doing with the commander decks that are new? 10 new. So this deck each deck contains 10 new cards.
No, they don't give a shit about these commander decks. There's only 2 decks, and they're only getting 10 cards apiece. Man, that's not great.
Nope,
that's not terrible. I mean, if the commander's new,
25 new cards. Like in compared to the Final Fantasy stuff, I think it's like 100 new cards in just the commander decks.
Yeah, I mean, but they can't keep doing. The set has all new cards plus the commander decks all have all new cards.
Yeah,
they're like doing like 400 to 500.
Thank you, Bob. Like, yeah, I think that this is.
I'm going to disagree to disagree.
It does smell like leftovers, like very distinctly as we go through this, and it's like, hey, cool, that's fine. Like, I have already spent way too much fucking money. 18 minutes, I don't feel bad. Way too much money with Final Fantasy. I do not feel bad about not
just
buying.
I want you to recognize you're the one that blew it, Pat.
Yeah, hey, not bad, not bad.
Hey, all I care about is the first couple minutes, so that's all that matters.
No, but in general, like, it makes for better reception with the audience.
Sure. So Edge of Eternities bundle, I noticed there's no gift bundles. There's just a pre-release normal bundle.
Dude, they sent the D squad out to introduce this
30 basic lands.
Did you guys pay attention to how unexcited the panel was to be announcing this product?
I haven't watched it, so I didn't.
The energy level could not have been lower from the people they sent out to, like
pre-release.
I think the dude that just woke up out of his mom's basement didn't even know he was going to be up on stage.
Oh, it might have been somebody canceled out and he had to just like fill in.
They're like, Steve, you got to get up on stage. Go.
Get up there. What the fuck do you mean, man? I just took some ketamine.
Sacrifice lands, grow back stronger, and boost artifacts.
Yeah, that one. There is a card in there. That one, I was like, oh,
Jund?
like that. Yeah, in the Jund. Yeah. I was like, oh, man.
So if I heard
saw the-
right, during the like showcase, they were saying that
I love
the
that.
backup commander for both decks is a ship, more or less.
Is this the one? I think
here we
this
go.
is the one.
Sorrow.
This one. Yeah.
I thought this card was sick until I read its last ability, and then I stopped caring.
I thought it was great until I read it.
No, like the first player is great. 2/5 flyer. Well, the 2/5 ain't great, but a flyer for 5 mana that plays lands from the graveyard. So you get Crucible Worlds effect. That's not bad. But then whenever you sacrifice another non-token permanent, you get a one. I like the whole counter thing. I just don't care. I don't know. The one counters do almost nothing to the board state. It's very.
I thought that Tifa will go very well in this deck.
Two.
She might.
Love you too, Sherry. Now, I'm saying that Tifa in this deck could go off.
I mean,
especially if you're playing those saga lands that have to go to the graveyard anyways, or the saga creatures. Like,
but there's just going to be better. There's just going to be better commanders for Tifa. That's just the problem.
Sure, I think she'll go well.
I can see this in the 99 of. Does this isn't Omnath in these colors?
Yeah.
Is he black?
Yeah, there's the Phyrexian black Omnath that does it.
Yeah.
This one's the other commander. Whenever he becomes taxed proliferate, that is very strong. If there is literally any artifact that has like tap, remove a charge counter, well, I guess it wouldn't be tap. You'd have to be like remove a charge counter to untap target creature. That would just be infinite straight up. I don't think they've done that, but I haven't looked into it. But the unfortunate part for me is the colors. I don't like Jeskai as much as I want to. Because we're green.
Isn't that your colors, Patrick?
Yes, sir. Both sculptor and sculpted. I don't know what
this looks like. This looks. Well, I say robotic. I mean, obviously a robot. This looks alien robotic, like more Eldrazi-esque.
Oh, this looks like Warhammer 40K leftovers. Like this, that's the thing. Is like it fits right into both that universe and into the weird part of Magic the Gathering that they're trying to explore into. Which, hey, man, I'm down. Another counter of each.
What else have they done? Oh yeah, there was this guy does like almost nothing. You create a 2/2 if you at the end step if you have like 2 tapped creatures.
Exactly at infinity.
Yeah, I couldn't give 2 flips about this guy. He seems, and plus it's in Boros, one of the worst color combinations.
But there's a kitty cat on it, Matt.
And you got this spaceship guy. This one's interesting. This is the one we were talking about earlier, where it's like crew with more steps. So you have station, tap another creature you control, put a charge counter equal to its power onto the spacecraft. Station only as a sorcery, which I just don't understand. And then it's an artifact creature at 7+. I mean, 3 mana for 5/5 flyer is good, and other tapped legendary controls have indestructibility. That's pretty strong. So this isn't terrible, but if it's your commander, then you're in.
It's not going to be a 5/5 though.
Actually, so yeah, I don't know. Its ability is wild. When it enters, you search your library for a creature card, put in a legendary creature card, put in your hand. As a commander, having access just to straight up tutor in the command zone is appealing, but it sticks you in mono white, which is
so appealing. The thing is, for 3, all you're getting is the tutor. It's not a 5/5,
right? Yeah, but like turning it on isn't like super difficult. Do you play creatures? You'll probably
yeah, right.
I don't know, and plus also because it says tap and it doesn't use the tap symbol, I don't think summoning sickness matters. So
it's only 1 though. That's the bit of a bugger for me, is that it can't be like a whole fucking crew. You can't tap 7/1/1s.
You can. You just do it separately. You put like tap 1, tap another. The problem is you can't do it all at once. But you can still station multiple times a turn. It's just you can only do it as a sorcery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It just basically gives.
That is not intuitive.
Well, it doesn't say you do this only once a turn.
Yeah, that's a fine point.
That's the way I'm reading it. I mean, they'll explain it more on later, but
right.
But
Story
the way it's
spotlight.
worded, it gives me the ability. It makes me believe that this ability tap another creature. It's like it's like I think Urza.
Hmm.
So you have to
Where,
tap 7 power to turn it on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as you have 7 power on the board, then it becomes a 5/5. But you also have to remember you're tutoring one creature for free. Well, for 3 mana. I don't know. Like I said, I think this card is fine. This card is the most interesting station card or spacecraft that I've seen. It's the only one, but it's the most interesting one. So,
But like its payoff, tapped legendary creatures you control have indestructible. How the fuck is that helpful? Like it's certainly going to have from time to time. It's going to be sort of worthwhile, but for the most part, it's like what the hell.
I dig this. It's you don't really know what the hell's going on, but it's just a version.
Oh, I like it, and they showed off
I
the
like
card a
it.
lot.
I think
the,
this in foil would look really good.
They did like some super duper ultra special version on it.
Minus it being Pringled, that would not look as good. But
scroll down just a hair. Does it tell you the singularity foil? That's what they're calling it. It's got like some super duper special version.
Foil.
It's supposed to be like ultra black. They use loads of black ink.
This card says it's 4 mana legendary enchantment. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent chooses a creature they control and exiles it. And then at the beginning of your end step, if a player controls no creatures, you sacrifice it. Then you can put a creature card that's exiled with it onto the battlefield with 2 additional counters. So not only is it exile, which I like in mono, it's if you're like mono black, you don't have like a ton of ways to exile stuff. You'll typically be able to use this as spam a bunch of tokens from like Field of the Dead or some kind of token generation. Plenty of ways to make zombie tokens or whatever, and then have a sack outlet, and you just wipe the board, and then you get one of your opponent's things. It's pretty good. So I dig that. That's a solid card.
Unless somebody board wipes the turn you play that.
I don't know why it reminds me of Defense of the Heart for some reason.
And it's like a kind of a black version of Defense of the Heart. Defense of the Heart is a card that like not a lot of people play, but that card's good.
And it's any player. So if one player just has one creature out and bounce, so you can't even really play it until everybody has a creature out.
Well, yeah. You play this when you need to wipe the board and you have a sack lot on the field and you have a bunch of things to sack.
So you need this 4 mana plus enough to wipe the board.
I don't think this card's insane. I think this card's just fine. It will see play in certain decks. In aristocrat decks that actually have ways to abuse this, it will definitely see play.
Okay, cool.
Dies to naturalize.
It does die to naturalize.
Yeah. Dies to removal. It's damn.
We already talked about it. So I think that's it as far as
yeah, I mean, so far I'm not excited about anything.
I'm slightly more edging for Edge of Eternity, but not really.
I am as equally as excited as previous.
I'm more interested to see what this
that one I like. That was a more
more
interesting reveal.
Yeah,
we have to figure out what the bending of the like what the if depending on how this is worded, like I don't know, like we were like Pat and I were talking, we were thinking that it could be that if you cast a spell color, you're considering as that was bended this turn. So if you cast a blue spell, you could say get bent for water bending. So you counter spell, you tell somebody get bent, you draw a card. But the opponent's fire bending 2 and he enters. Maybe he just it's just not even enters. It's always there. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means. The two part is ruining what bending means.
Okay, and that's fine. But here's one thing that they kind of failed at. He's not a firebender. I mean, he is sort of in his avatar form, but his natural is an airbender. Why would he have flying fire bending rather than airbending?
Yeah, he probably should have. Well, this is his avatar though, so he firebends there.
He's got to be all of them. That's
he can be all of them. But I'm
canonically known, I believe, as an airbender. So he probably should have airbending too.
But the whole point of being the avatar is that you're able to use all 4 elements.
Okay, then why not have all 4 on his thing?
Well, maybe that's what
even funnier about that is on his backside he has the 5th color, which probably doesn't exist in
I don't think there is one.
Avatar the Airbender. Yeah, I don't think there's a fifth color, but yeah, he has comes a 6/6 flyer, and spells you cast cost Wooburg less. And at the beginning of each upkeep, you may transform him. If you do, you gain 4 life, draw 4 cards, and he's wild. Like he's the farthest, depending on how hard it is to bend.
Well, let me ask you this, because what I was thinking immediately, does this make that 1 green casting cost turnover face down cards? Could you flip him?
No,
I don't know what you mean.
These are transform, not flip.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. You'd have to tell me the card name, and I wouldn't know.
But Benson, I did actually grow up watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. Uncle Jiro, like he's one of the best. He guy's great.
I watched it, but I'm not like super. Like I don't know like a ton about it or anything. So, was that the only card they spoiled? Yeah, it was the only card they spoiled from it. I thought they say like digital render, not actual card. It's like, well,
what kind of throws me off about the artwork on it is the foiling on it reminds me of Metazoo, like the little flakes on it. It's kind of off-putting.
It reminds me of the stickers that you got from the little vending machine that you put a quarter in.
Oh, like Lisa Frank from the 2000s.
I don't know about that, but that's the quarters.
What about foil curling bend? Does that count? Yeah, right. I forget the curl bending.
Yeah, it's not fire bending; it's foil bending.
Foil bending, yes.
If you throw them in the fire, they uncurl. Not a lot of people know that.
I think they curl more
in water.
Yeah, right. Soak them in water. So, interesting news. It does look like that golden chocobo did finally sell. The one I was following went for best offer at 40K. We've also had a couple of other ones sell. The lowest priced one that I saw was 27,000. So it does seem as though there's a bit of a range there from 27 to 40K, but still very expensive for these things.
I think that's underpriced.
Yeah, only having 77 of them, that's pretty low.
Well, let's look up the 1 of 100 Lord of the Rings cards. Some of them are selling for 65,000 at 1 of 100.
What would be a good example of one of those? I'm terrible.
I don't know. You'd have to look in the Lord of the Rings. Sorry.
You're talking about the ones that are like Dwarven text and Elvish text?
No. It was the one that they showed was it was one of the poster arts. And they have a bunch of different serialized cards in that set. And there's only one serialized card in Final Fantasy. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Does not make sense.
Borderless poster, serialized number. Yeah, there's a couple of these that are, has no current price on this one. Last one sold for 1,000, but
no, there's one that sold for 65,000. I can't remember who posted it.
Hey, we worked with a Gagan Deep before. Is that an actual popular name in Indian culture?
Do I look Indian?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not.
Yeah, messing 7 people. Hey, we're not professional.
Hey, we have some air of professionalism, but then there is definitely, it's like edging professionalism. I think at a certain point, depending on the size of our audience, we would become slightly more professional.
Hola, senor coach.
Hey, if that's what's important to you is how many other folks are watching rather than what you're listening to, then well, sorry, you might be disappointed.
Yeah, we were just kind of finishing up talking about Edge of Eternities. It was interesting. It's There wasn't a ton, and also Pat was the one that kind of watched it. I was going to sleep
I watched
basically
it
when
live.
they were doing it.
I watched
Haven't
Mr.
gotten
DJ
around to it
Longhair broadcasting it live from the showroom floor.
Wow.
Now, I'll be honest, I haven't been excited about this yet. There's nothing they've done to generate buzz from me to the point where I want to do anything more than buy the one box so that we can do it for the Commander Raids box break. Not excited about seeing Shocklands getting yet another reprint. Could care less about Mutavault. The other cards that we talked about, we're sitting here theory crafting about. All right, I think a hammer. And it's not anywhere on the level of the last two sets. Not at all, so far. At this stage,
No, but it's going to be a long time before anything touches Final Fantasy. I mean, it's probably going to be years before we see another set like this. I mean, honestly, what can they do to top it? I didn't know what they were going to do to top Lord of the Rings, but lo and behold, here we are. Maybe we get a whole
Final Fantasy
SpongeBob set.
boxes are insane. Our collector box is still 1,200.
They haven't hit 1,200 yet. I've been watching it. They like bounce around at the number, but they haven't quite hit that. That's been what I've been most interested in this week for Magic content itself, is watching to see when it finally crosses that 1,200. I'm shocked. Like, obviously I purchased quite a bit of Final Fantasy, and I'm shocked to see it going this fast. It's off to the races, and it makes me wonder if it really is a bubble that's going to pop hard.
It definitely is somewhat, I don't want to say scary, but
Sure.
11. Well,
first of all,
I was sharing my screen, Pat. No, it's mine.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, here I'll kick myself out.
No.
But
Nope, I stopped sharing.
So Tiv, here's the thing:
11.94, so close.
That's putting Shocks back in standard, right? So it's not about Commander.
Oh,
look
who the seller is. I can't really see it because your screen's fucking blown out. We actually should show mine.
Hey, I tried to
stop arguing. I'm trying to answer questions.
Well, it's what's it called? The Windows setting.
However, they're standard sets. They're not Commander sets. They're not printing them in the Commander decks. They're reintroducing Shocks back into standard, which I think is going to, in my opinion, make it even a little more miserable. It's already too fast, in my opinion, as it is. And Shocks only serve to make it a faster format.
That one.
So I think it's going to cause more problems for the next 3 years now, reintroducing Shocks back into the standard format. And I think Mutavault, I'm not sure. Is Mutavault going to be one of those special guests? I really didn't see if any of them had the regular set symbol on it. I noticed that the nomenclature in the bottom left part of it for the one that I thought was kind of super lazy was a different Edge of Eternities symbol. Or, I mean, nomenclature.
Oh, and I have no idea. I don't know. I didn't see what it was listed as far as Mutavault's concerned. Why is Mutavault? Is this not the one? This one? No.
Aha, pop-ups.
Oh, there's the symbol. Oh, look, can we look at the symbols real quick? That you just scroll past? Yeah. Let's halt right there for a second. So EOE is the nomenclature, and the symbol is indeed that sort of black hole galaxy-ish symbol. Then you have the EOC expansion symbol. I'm assuming that's, I don't know, what is that? Is that going to be from like a bonus sheet?
EOC. Oh, it says at the bottom, Commander set code.
Okay. SPG.
Special SPG guest. Is special guest set code.
What the hell is Stellar Light set?
EOS. I don't
know. Whatever that is. I guess that's a bonus sheet, maybe? I don't know.
It's got to be a special version of the cards.
Selectonic cards return on stellar sight lands. So Mutavault special treatment stellar. So you Mutavault in borderless, stellar sight, and traditional foil.
Right, but I don't see the
continuing
sets
the
for
trend
the
of
one
sweet
yet.
lands, some of Magic's iconic lands are returning on Solthera system. Edge of Eternities stellar on the stellar sites bonus sheet. So that's what they're calling the bonus sheet, stellar sites.
Is that the only place it's showing up is on the bonus sheet? So this won't be in standard. Because people were talking about that in DJ's chat, and I'm like, I don't know that that's.
It says each of these lands has a poster stellar sites version available only in collectors. No, it says you can find a stellar sites bonus sheet in one of 8 Edge of Eternity. So I guess it'd be
right, but if they're a bonus sheet, that means that they're not standard.
It's only available in limited play.
Okay. So they're not bringing Mutavault back to standard because people were saying, "Oh, that's wild, Mutavault back to standard." And I'm like, well, that could have some impact, but clearly it won't.
It appears not.
Well, that's why we don't see the set symbol. That's what I was kind of curious. That's sort of like a giveaway.
On either one of them, but it does say EOS at the bottom, so that is only EOS. Yeah, they're both EOS.
Okay. I was trying to catch that on the slide, but now we're
look at the person selling these collector boosts is MVP Sports, which is hilarious to me because they had the collector boxes listed for like a week or two after release or after the initial, they call them first flashes, for $679, I believe. I ended up buying 4 of them. I have four boxes, so I've almost doubled my money in like less than a month.
You haven't doubled anything until you sell them.
I have been tempted. It is one of those things where it's like I know that in time this will go up. This number will be higher.
Yeah.
And if I have a reason to sell, if I had like another avenue to double my money, I would definitely do that. I'd be like, at a certain time, you have to lock in your profits, double your money, and then keep going. Like you can only diamond hands for so long. It's kind of like when I keep doing this. I keep going to the Lord of the Rings, this Middle Earth set. It's like, how long is this going to be? Almost $2,000, and I have one, and I'm just like, will it could be a bubble like Bob said, and that's what worries me. Like I could lock in the 6 times profit because I spent like $280, I think. So it's like it's hard to diamond hands more, but again, it's one of those things where I don't have another avenue right now where I want to spend. Like Final Fantasy, what I should have done is sold this and bought 3 boxes of Final Fantasy. I would have been, up money. But it is what it is.
I'm going to say this though. When it comes to Magic and the financial aspect of it, this should not be something that you're doing as a serious investment strategy. This is a hobby diversification of excess funds above and beyond your adult money. Adult money meaning, first and foremost, an emergency fund, especially in today's world with so many people getting laid off at the drop of a time.
100% true. Yeah.
You need to have that monies to cover your rents.
Yeah.
The second adult thing that you need to have covered are all of your bills. Meaning you're not buying Magic and foregoing paying your regular bills. That includes student loans and your car.
Yeah.
So this is money that comes way down the list after all of those your proper investments into proper investment strategies. Don't talk to us about it. Go see a financial advisor.
Right.
At a minimum, if you have a 401k, you should. This is the financial advice I'll give you there. You should always be contributing at a minimum up to the amount that your employer will match. If you have a 401k, you must do that. All of this comes before buying a single Magic card. Then when you get to it, if you've already maxed out all of your tax advantaged accounts and you want to look at it as an alternative form of investment for diversification, then you can look into like, well, I should be buying these and, turn around and shift rates of your money and all of that. And then you still have to watch out for your taxable events because, yes, they're taking the brakes off of that pause that they hit for the 1099s, and they're dropping the level down from what was originally, I think it was $20,000 a year down to $600. And I think
they're things being at a much lower number. our membership prices. Wow.
That's
What
right.
a low price. Can you believe it's only 99 cents now, Bob, for our monthly membership? They get all that extra content and it barely costs $1.
Talk about the value.
Oh,
We're going to be
man.
opening a box of Play Boosters Final Fantasy in our live stream after this. It is a members only live stream, but again, it's only $1 to join. And then we'll be building a Commander Raids deck from it. Now,
There you go. Why are we ripping?
I will say, I have to double check something, but I did a dum-dum yesterday. So you know how when you have a mini fridge and you have like the little freezer compartment that like fills up with ice and you have to like thaw it out and every like 6 months to a year, sometimes longer. Well, I had one that was like that, and every now and then I would just like unplug it and like let it thaw out and then replug it back in. But it takes a while, leaves a watery mess. So I thought I'll take a screwdriver and I'll just like pry out the ice from it, and that was going great until I heard, because I punctured one of the Freon lines in the ice compartment. Apparently it's like a plastic liner, and then there's like the pipes run through it. And as I was chiseling with the screwdriver, I should have used a better tool. I had a chisel that was like blunted; it wouldn't have broken anything. I was using a screwdriver; it was working great, and I was getting like the last part of it, so I was at the bottom of it, and I couldn't quite see it because there's like a little flap door, and I was kind of just like blindly chiseling, and it was like I had a little bit of resistance. I wasn't hitting it that hard, but it was a sharp screwdriver, so I just went straight through the line. So I ordered a new mini fridge, and I have to double check when my store closes. Oh, never mind. They close at 8 p.m., so I have to pick it up tomorrow. Oh well, I was gonna say I might have to end the stream early, but nope. I won't even have a chance.
Oh, which one of us is doing the opening? Me or you?
Well, not me.
I'll open it.
Sounds good.
I have been simultaneously dreading and looking forward to opening these boxes. And also,
it's been rough. I'm just
I know. That's what I said. I'm excited and simultaneously like I have these packs here. These are collector packs. And like every single time I'm like thinking I want to open one, but holy my goodness, they are like $120 a piece now.
Yup.
No, $100 a piece. Yeah.
Yeah, every time you feel tempted to open it, you should keep going back and looking at that.
That's what I keep
specifically
about
for that purpose. I specifically bought collector the separate packs to open.
Yeah, I bought a lot of stuff to open that's not going to get open now because it's raced away from a number I'm comfortable opening at.
So ridiculously fucking expensive. My buddy asked me, because I got those gift bundles coming in. He's like, "You gonna open any?" I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" No, of course I'm not gonna open any. I'm just gonna try and hedge my bets until I'm like, this is the highest I think it's gonna be for a while. I want to lock it in, get rid of these. Like that's gonna be my thought. I mean, shit.
I'm going to be surprised if they even maintain. I think they're as high as they are because they have not yet been released. We'll see.
They have two collector packs, right?
No.
Nah, it's one.
Oh, if it's only one, that's not very good. I was going to say two collector packs is $240. Or $200.
These are pushing $300.
Yeah, I don't know why they're that expensive.
Well, because you also still get one of those. It's the only place you can get those extended legendaries. Foil. The only place you can get them are in the bundles and the gift bundles.
Interesting.
So there's like a sub chase card in there, but you could very well get, and I got one uncommon out of my bundle. And the other one was Titus. I think I got. So at least I got a mythic. But not like he's a very expensive mythic. I don't know.
He ain't no Vivi. Man, that thing's kicking some butt in the CEDH areas, isn't it, Matt?
Titus?
Vivi?
Oh, Vivi. Yeah.
I haven't seen. I saw that there was a bunch of hype around it, but I haven't seen it doing anything. Like I haven't looked at statistics for it or anything.
I saw 2-card combo, Vivian Quicksilver Elemental, which is 3 and 2 blues, and you can just loop it and get infinite mana like immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, there are definitely ways to break it.
when it says you can only do this once per turn.
Because
Yeah, but with Quicksilver, you just continuously copy its ability, and because you're copying it multiple times, it sees it as a different version of it. So you just have to copy it again. And again.
I still don't understand how that goes infinite.
Because it generates more than it costs.
Is it generating it each time you're copying the ability?
You copy it and trigger it for 0. So you're generating 2.
Yeah, the activation cost is 0 for some reason.
Yeah. And because Quicksilver Elemental is a 3, it costs 1 to copy its ability. So you're net 2 every time you do it. It's shenanigans.
It's definitely a little spicy.
Right. I'm glad that they had some, pretty powerful beat 'em up cards in Final Fantasy. They should have. I mean, honestly, I'm glad that they didn't just rest on the laurels of the IP, which unfortunately is a very likely scenario for Spider-Man. But they didn't give that treatment to Final Fantasy. They didn't give that to Lord of the Rings. So it's definitely a very
let's be honest.
thing.
With Lord of the Rings, once you take out Bowmasters and the One Ring,
then it's pretty fine. Then it's
it falls off really hard.
Yeah, it definitely brings it down a big peg or two. But I think the same thing can be said for most sets.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you took out Elspeth and Ugin from Tarkir, would really power that.
Because honestly, Mox Jasper, who gives a shit?
I don't.
I ordered 4 copies on speculation. We'll see how that plays out for me.
I hope it works out for you.
It's not like I broke the bank on it. It was just a small speculation. It's being used in Modern right now, so there's a chance that it has some potential doing something.
Yeah,
it's also being used for Vivi, which is really fucking weird. They're literally using it as a free drop to counter with an offer you can't refuse. So they get multiple triggers on Vivi and then also get 2 treasures. They're not even using it as an actual mana rock.
Well, I heard something about bans, but I didn't follow up on that. Did either of you look into that this week?
I didn't hear
I
about
think
bans.
BNR is next month. I think July 20th, I want to say.
And there was somebody speculating either about Vivi or Quicksilver Elemental.
I don't think Vivi will get banned. That seems
No, and they were saying, well, you don't have to ban Vivi. All you'd have to do is ban the Quicksilver Elemental, and I could see them doing that.
I don't think anything's going to get banned for Vivi. It's not a problem
until the next wave of reprints arrives and they sell more product. You know how much it sucked for Commander Legends when they banned Hull Breacher? This is a terrible loss in profits right there. They're gonna wrangle this shit. They're gonna wait until they maximize, like a smart company.
I mean, like they did
stewarded by caring individuals, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I am a little disappointed that we're already past Final Fantasy and it was just released a week ago. Like, that sad reality, because Rudy said it twice, and I'm like, we're not past it. It came out a fucking week ago, dude. But he's not wrong.
Yeah, that's magic.
It is a fast-moving beast.
Yeah, a week after release, product is old.
Yeah.
I what?
But what's wild is the counter to that is that the collector boxes are more expensive than ever.
Which they certainly
not a big fan of that either. I'll be honest.
I mean, the attention seems to have moved on, but the money hasn't. So I think like Wizards is probably in a great spot right now. They're still getting sales of their most current product, and they've got people edging for the eternity for the next one.
Not me.
No,
I
but
haven't
some
even-
folks.
I haven't even pre-ordered. Have you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's Amazon. I always pre-order. They don't take my money until it ships.
I think I'm going to pre-order just 2 boxes. One to open, one for the shelf. That's it. Done with the OE.
Oh, I'm not gonna pre-order play boxes. Mine was just collector boxes.
Yeah.
Wait, what about the Commander Raids crack?
I get my boxes through MVP every time. I'm not worried about getting boxes ever. If it's play boxes,
I was
MVP's
just
got my
going to
back.
ask. Let me get some from you.
Yeah, I can get them. Like even Final Fantasy, they sold for $139. Like they didn't jack up the prices. They sold them at a good price. They sort of jacked the prices up on Final Fantasy collector boxes, but they still sold them at a discount.
Oh, funny enough. So I went to the post office to
But
pick
they have
up my.
taxes, right?
No taxes, no shipping, as long as the order's over 100. Yeah, it's a good deal. It's free per month too. I don't understand really how they make money, to be completely honest.
Volume.
I
Solid
guess.
volume.
I was gonna send Rudy a message and ask him what he thought of the whole situation as far as if he is aware of them. I have to imagine he is. And then if he is aware of them, how do they make money when they don't charge a monthly service, but he does? He charges his patrons a monthly service.
They'll
good
just
luck
have
with
to
that.
tune in.
Good luck with him giving you a reasonable or honest answer.
I don't know why you think he's this like secretive. I mean, like he memes around a lot, but he doesn't really mislead many people. I don't know if he's necessarily straight shooting facts, but I don't look at the things he says as this like long con play. Like the way you talk about him, you think he's like this just big con man. You can't trust anything he says. A lot of the stuff he says is true.
He said that the Commander Legends was going to be the first collector box to 1,000. Never even got close.
Wait, what? What about the collector boxes?
The Commander Legends collector boxes. If you go back and watch from years past, and he was saying they're going to be the first boxes to 1,000. They were super underprinted. He couldn't get more of it. Blah 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 blah. Never even got close to it. And if you look,
he doesn't get everything right. That's correct. Nobody does.
No, but he has a vested interest. He has product to sell you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying that you're necessarily wrong, but you paint him in this picture that is more.
Even at the price that he sells them, he's making money on those boxes. He's not going to lose money on it. He even let it slip in a chat the other day. I don't think he intended to. About how he would never sell product at a loss.
Why would he? He's a business. Like, what?
Well, you said, oh no, he has to be losing money on every box that he sells. I mean, if you really want him to be honest and transparent, have him show his invoices.
Yeah, good luck.
If you're that honest, show the invoice.
I don't see a reason for him to do that.
Okay.
Like, what benefit is that? Like, what are we looking for from him sharing that?
Transparency and honesty to establish trust.
But he's a business and he wants to make money. He's never hid that. And
I'm fine with that. But let's see what the numbers actually are.
Clearly, it's profitable, or else he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, right.
What I'm saying about is the box. When I say I don't say he probably is realistically breaking even. He's not like making buku dollars over selling the play boxes for $100, especially Dragons of Tarkir. Think about it this way: instead of selling it for the patrons for $100 shipped, he could be selling them on TCG Player for $140, and then the buyer pays the shipping and they pay the tax, because he's also paying taxes on the patron sales. So he's paying taxes, he's paying shipping. Like it's definitely a deal. It's just one of those things where
I don't know that he necessarily is paying taxes properly. He may have found a tax loophole.
Yeah, it's Florida. I know they got some like screwy sales tax action going on when it comes to like by mail stuff.
So again, I wouldn't.
What
Rudy,
I would do
wait, Rudy's
is
not out there for your best interest. How's that? Whereas legitimately on this channel, I have always tried to be in the audience's best interest. I may be wrong, just like I accepted anybody could be wrong. Me, Professor, Rudy, you, Pat. Sure.
Pat.
The difference is the intention
don't know
behind
shit.
the words that come out of my mouth versus the intention behind the words that come out of Rudy's mouth. I am not trying to influence anything other than responsible behavior. I have nothing to sell. I'm not trying to give away anything. I'm not trying to crack boxes for other people to get YouTube content so that we can boost our numbers. I'm not trying to play any silly games with other people's money and opening cases like popular YouTubers out there. We're not doing ripping ships. We're just three dudes spitting it out as honestly as we can with no ulterior motives for any kind of profitability other than being popular on YouTube and letting YouTube pay us.
Yeah, I'll gladly take the YouTube's money and
Sure.
any ad revenue. I'll take all of that.
Sure,
Gladly.
but we're not taking it from our, our patrons. We're not taking it from our members. We're not taking it from the audience that we seek to serve.
Yeah, if I were to do a deal with the boxes that I'm able to get from MVP or Rudy, my goal would be to only do it for channel members so that there's already a vested interest in our channel growth, and then I would want to try to basically break even and also still give the viewer a deal. As long as the viewer is getting a deal, or I should say the member's getting a deal, and I'm not losing money, I'm happy with that. I don't need to make money. It would just
But
be
you are losing money
the
based on the time that you're spending to do it for them, and you're doing it purely for a benefit for them, so that it helps as mutual trust building, community building for the channel. That is admirable. That is upfront. There is no hidden anything behind that. We ask for $1 a month to become a member because that's the minimum that we can charge for membership. And that has lots of pragmatic reasons when it comes to YouTube's, the things that we have to do and controlling flow and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, there are benefits to membership. There's nothing else I can say about that.
And speaking of, Time Capsule member for 11 months. Woo, woo, woo.
What a G.
And we've actually got a members only live stream we got to head over to here in just a few
we're
minutes.
3 minutes over. You guys some bonus
late.
content.
Bob's ranting again.
So make sure to go ahead, click that link there, and we'll see you in the next one. Till next time, stay safe, be happy, and good luck if you're ripping some packs. And this is where we're